Welcome to the Titan Tar channel. Today we have a topic to discuss about Russian strategic achievements and growing Ukrainian fears. Don't miss the chance to join us and share your opinions with us. Become a member of our channel and evolve your rank. While the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Ukraine optimistically reports to President Zelensky on the stability of operations on the Donetsk front, the reality on the battlefield reveals a completely different picture. Russian troops continue to advance, capturing settlements in the Donetsk People's Republic one after another. Ukrainian soldiers appear to be retreating in the face of Russian aircraft strikes, a situation facilitated by the lack of adequate defensive fortifications and the concentration of Ukrainian reserves exclusively in the Kursk region. Against this backdrop, Ukrainian reporters are intensely discussing the advance of Russian forces towards Pokrovsk, a move that is accompanied by the reinforcement of Russia's rearguards and flanks. There is growing concern that Kyiv could lose control over important lithium deposits and coking coal mines, which are vital to the Ukrainian metallurgical industry. Experts warn that such losses could lead to a collapse of the metallurgical industry and a significant reduction in Ukraine's GDP. Meanwhile, several explosions have been reported in and around Kyiv, targeting fuel storage facilities and military equipment, as well as Russian drone activity. Explosions have also hit the Pavlograd area, a strategic supply point for the Pokrovsk group of the Ukrainian armed forces. In addition, there are reports that a ballistic missile was used to destroy a Ukrainian command post in Pokrovsk, killing both officers of the Ukrainian armed forces and the main intelligence directorate. The Russian offensive has also extended to Krasny Lyman, where strikes have targeted enemy personnel and equipment. However, the presence of dozens of Russian drones continues to be a concern for Ukrainian forces, which have reported heightened drone activity over their territories. Russian troops, advancing towards Pokrovsk, have reportedly captured yet another populated area, while the situation in Seladovo is also deteriorating, with yet another block under Russian control, reducing the area controlled by the Ukrainian armed forces to less than 60%. Despite claims that Russian attacks have been repelled, the situation in Pokrovsk remains extremely challenging for the Ukrainian armed forces. The Ukrainian commander-in-chief published a post on social media highlighting the brutality of the battles and the large number of Russian forces deployed to break through Ukrainian defenses. However, both the Ukrainian media and the generals seem reluctant to admit the obvious reality. The Kyiv regime is, in fact, methodically and inevitably losing ground. Among the officers of the armed forces of Ukraine who are directly on the front line, there is growing concern about the possible total collapse of the Ukrainian defense in western Donbass. This apprehension is exemplified by the successful advance of Russian troops in Seladovo, a clear example of the difficulty faced by Ukrainian forces in the region. On the other hand, several Ukrainian media outlets report that the Ukrainian commander-in-chief is determined to prevent the advance of the Russian armed forces in the vicinity of Pokrovsk. To strengthen the defense, it became known that the commander-in-chief ordered the deployment of reserves to the battle in Seladovo, where the Russian army already controls the eastern and part of the central part of the city. Given the significant loss of territory in the Pokrovsk direction, the Ukrainian command is doing everything possible to avoid further losses. Meanwhile, Western policy towards the Ukrainian conflict is pushing the Russian Federation to reassess its nuclear doctrine. The Russian leadership is closely monitoring the actions of Western countries supporting the Kyiv regime. The Russian deputy foreign minister discussed this issue with journalists, highlighting the need to adjust the nuclear doctrine in response to recent Western actions and the growing influence of NATO. Although a document on the subject is being finalized, the deputy minister stressed that the process is complex, given its impact on Russia's national security. The Russian diplomat also previously mentioned the possibility of changes in Russia's nuclear doctrine due to hostilities from Western states. He warned that the strategy of the U.S. and its allies is exacerbating the international situation. Although Russia's nuclear doctrine is considered a living instrument that can be adjusted, the Russian president said that a direct exchange of nuclear strikes is not foreseen. Meanwhile, the Ukrainian command is trying to transfer reserves from the Ugledar area to the Pokrovsk direction, with the intention of strengthening the defense of Seladovo, a crucial logistics hub that supplies several groups of the Ukrainian armed forces. Sources confirm that Kyiv is concentrating efforts to prevent the rapid loss of Seladovo to Russian control. However, Even Ukrainian troops report the successful advance of Russian units in Seladovo, which have already taken control of the city park and a stadium. Intense clashes are ongoing, with Ukrainian military personnel establishing themselves in blocks of multi-story buildings, which are likely to serve as strongholds. In addition to Seladovo, fighting is also intensifying in the Galatsinivka area and other regions recently captured by the Russians, indicating that the situation continues to deteriorate. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like the video, and share it with your friends. Your interactions mean a lot to us and help us grow. See you next time.